My name's Sally, I live on top of a Welsh mountain and I'm going to show you my workout today. I have something called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which means that my joints are constantly dislocating. So walking and exercising is really difficult for me. People who have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, we've taken up walking, but we do what we call a death walk because it hurts so bad. So today I'm going to go death walk to the ponies to see if they're there. And if they're there, we're going to give them some treats and then I'm going to death walk back. So come join me on my exercise today. I should mention actually, the person filming you today is my husband Kirk.
Hello.
And yeah, he's also my primary carer, so he helps to look after me. So when I'm really ill and I can't get out of bed, he's the person who makes sure that I get all the things that I need and make sure that I can actually you know, do things. But today is actually the first time I've been out of bed and walking places for 2 weeks. So it's kind of momentous. And you ask people to tell you what they were doing for exercise. So I thought it's kind of fitting, my first time out of bed in 2 weeks, that I should show you guys. So we brought apples and parsnips for them because they like parsnips as well. And we've got mint flavoured pony treats because one of them really likes mint. But if you give a horse lots of sugar, it's not very good for them, so mint flavoured treats is a better option. But if you can see how pretty where I live is, you probably can see why it's really worth all the hassle of living here, because it is absolutely beautiful. It's pretty much the middle of nowhere. And it's really hard if I need to go to a doctor's or to hospital, but I kind of like being out in the middle of nowhere, even though it makes a lot of things really difficult, because it means I get lots of peace and quiet, so which is really important when I'm ill. So it's kind of, it's nice, and you don't get bothered out here by people, and it's a really safe place to live as well. And I did fall once. We've got 4 acres at the back of our house, and I screamed when I fell, and actually a neighbour who lives in the house, you can probably just about see in the distance over there, drove his car over to see if I was alright. So if anything bad happens, you do have really good neighbours who will come and look after you. Sorry, I've got to be quiet a minute just while I concentrate on getting safely down here.
I see a Brago.
Brago! Come on! The ponies have noticed that we're here and they're coming for their treats.
Or at least one of them.
Pony coming towards us, it belongs to our landlady. But we get to look after him sometimes. And he's a really good boy, he's a real sweetie. His name's Brago. He's a Welsh cob. But Brago's a big softie, he's like a giant teddy bear. So this is like an incentive for me to go on a death walk, is the fact that I can come and see the ponies. Because I actually, before I was disabled, I used to work in the stables, so I really like horses, and to me it makes it worth it, even though it really hurts to walk. If I can walk and come see the ponies, it's kind of a reward in itself. When we first met Brago, he'd been eating loads of grass and we gave him an apple. And he was so happy about that apple that he drooled. Because he'd been eating grass, he basically slimed green slime everywhere. He's a good one. Yeah. More crunchies. I really like crunchies. So yeah, I have a really lovely gross hand now. So yeah, the way back is uphill, which is harder. I have to be really careful in case I slip and fall, because if I slip and fall it would be a really bad thing, because an ambulance is 40 minutes away at minimum, and I can injure myself in ways that a normal person wouldn't if they just had a normal fall. I fell a few weeks ago and I had to have my leg in a brace because basically I'd stretched all my tendons and ligaments. I have a hair in my mouth. Because the way I fell basically meant that I dislocated a lot of things all at once. And when I do that, it basically wrecks all the soft tissue around it. I get what I call day-to-day dislocations. If I went to the hospital for every dislocation I had, I would probably be in the hospital all day, every day. So we learnt to deal with most things on our own. But if I have a fall, it becomes worse. So I have no choice but to go see a doctor or to the hospital. Which is why you have to move really carefully, because you learn very quickly you don't want to be spending all your time in the hospital. For starters, hospitals are really boring. I'm on really strong pain medication because you can't stand how much pain you're in, which I do try and avoid taking because pain medicine's really addictive. So yeah, you try and avoid taking it when you can, but sometimes it's so bad you can't avoid taking it. But I try and be really tough and manly and not take these things if I can avoid it. So I basically, like, I try and do what you do, Cory. I try and stay really positive about things. Because I can still walk. My spine hasn't separated. I can still go see the ponies. I still live somewhere really beautiful. And I've still got my husband. So there's lots of things to be really thankful for. Even if the world seems to suck ass most of the time. So yeah, there's lots of things to be really thankful for. So we're pretty much back at the house. And that's probably about as far as I can walk today, is to the ponies and back. Some days I can go further if I'm having a good day. And some days I can't walk at all. This is our house. It's pretty big for the two of us. but we were just lucky we found it when we did.
We don't live in Australia, there aren't actually any koalas, by the way. I'll just show you the sign.
That's to keep out our insane neighbour. Our land is not a public right of way, which means people aren't allowed to walk on it without our permission. A lot of the land around here is public right of way, and people quite often just assume they can just walk up there whenever they want, so the koala sign is to hopefully put people off. I think that there's wild animals loose. We're also considering getting a sign that says danger, no entries, ninjas on premises. So we're trying to keep people off, but in like the funniest way possible. This has been my Deathwalk, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye.
Bye. Oh, is this for the blog? Sorry, I didn't know.
And now I'm back in the house with my cats. And this is Jim, who will do anything for crisps. And that is Ezio, named after the assassin.
Who doesn't understand crisps?
Yeah, he doesn't understand crisps. But he does understand cuddles and rough play. That's his favourite game. Bye.